the Parliamentary Budget Officer has already proven that the Liberal carbon tax, just like the Prime Minister, is not worth the cost, saying the vast majority of people are worse off under a carbon pricing regime than without. This is partly because of the economic cost that the carbon tax imposes. One of our members for Winnipeg asked the PBO if the government had done an economic analysis of the cost, and he said yes, but they're blocking its release, referring to it as a gag order. Why the carbon tax cover-up?
And he doesn't add indirect costs.
Speaker, we of course respect the work of the Parliamentary Budget Officer, who provides independent analysis to this government. In this instance, however, the Parliamentary Budget Officer admitted that he made a mistake with his carbon pricing reports, using incorrect analysis and modelling, which emphasises what we've been saying all along, Mr. Speaker, that 8 out of 10 Canadians get more money back from the Canada Carbon Rebate while we fight climate change. The next Canada Carbon Rebate is actually going to be arriving on the 15th of July in Canadians' bank accounts right across the country. We will continue to put money in people's pockets and fight climate.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
If that was true, he would simply release the report with the real cost of the carbon tax that he's been hiding. But the Auditor General released another report showing that this Prime Minister is not worth the corruption or cost after 9 years. $123 million in spending in the Prime Minister's Green Slush Fund broke the rules. According to one of the bureaucrats involved, the entire expenditure resembles the Liberal sponsorship scandal. Will he take personal responsibility for these costs and corruption, or will he just blame others again?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister has already taken measures to ensure that these programs are properly spent, that the processes are properly followed in terms of contracts. We know we need to continue to ensure value for money for taxpayers, while at the same time continuing to step up on the fight against climate change, on the creation of a green economy. That is why we continue to deliver a Canada Carbon Rebate that puts more money in 8 out of 10 Canadians' pockets in regions where it is, at the same time as we fight climate change effectively right across the country.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, no one believes
all
you.
members to please not take the floor. As a person who has been recognized by the chair to ask the question or to answer the question, so that not only that the chair can hear all the questions and that all members can hear, but especially those who use translation devices, it's difficult for them to hear over the ambient sound. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
We already knew that the Prime Minister liked to give tax dollars to his favourite consulting company, McKinsey, a company that helps supercharge drug overdose deaths as part of the opioid crisis. But today we learned from the Auditor General that it's far more money than thought. It was 200 million Canadian tax dollars for this one company. 90% of those contracts didn't follow government rules, 70% of them without a competitive process, 100% of them with the NDP voting in favour. Wow. Mr. Speaker, will the Prime Minister commit here and now no more money for McKinsey?
Greg.
Again, I asked
no one gives a
members, and I've already asked a member from Tim James Bay if he could please not comment while other members are speaking, so that way we can all hear. The Honourable...
Greg, let the floor do its job.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, obviously the taxpayers deserve to get value for money, which is why we've continued to strengthen our oversight and the measures whereby public servants grant contracts, including to outside consultants. We've reduced those numbers. We're making sure that we're able to both grow the economy and fight climate change at the same time as we ensure value for money. And we will, of course, continue to work with the Auditor General and her recommendations as we move forward. At the same time, Mr. Speaker, we are committed to delivering more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians as we fight climate change with the Canada Carbon Rebate.
Hear, hear.
The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. Mr. Speaker.
Okay, block NDP.
The National Committee
And
of
then go back to
Parliamentarians
Pierre.
on Security and Intelligence has tabled a report that states that there has been inaction, denial, and incompetence when it comes to handling matters of national security on the part of this cabinet. Here in this House, some elected officials, on purpose or possibly due to their naivete, have fallen under foreign influence. What is the Prime Minister going to do about this? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, we are very thankful to NCCOP for its hard work. We take foreign interference very seriously, and that is why we are taking all necessary measures to protect Canadians from the threat of foreign interference. We have created oversight agencies. We have created a public inquiry. We have introduced legislation
You've done a
for a
special
registry of
rapporteur.
foreign influence. We have made foreign interference a serious
All these
offense.
things.
And we are enabling CSIS to share intelligence with all levels of government, businesses, researchers, and more. We will continue to protect Canadians. The Honourable Member. The Prime Minister said himself that he has not read the reports, that he has ignored them, that he has slowed down the intelligence and inquiry process. At this very moment, some elected officials may be under foreign influence. They could be in any party. The Prime Minister must answer. Because right now, this Prime Minister is doing nothing about the fact that in this Parliament there are people that are under foreign influence, and he's doing nothing. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
That was solid.
Mr. Speaker, it's quite ironic that the leader of the Bloc Québécois is asking this question because he refused to receive the security clearance that would have enabled him to read the classified documents so he could actually understand the issues.
Because then he can't talk about it in Parliament.
And
It's
because he's
exactly what you
refusing
want.
to receive the security clearance, he can engage in this type of partisan attack on issues that are actually very serious. And this government is taking it very seriously and doing the work.
The Honourable Member from Burnaby South.
We know that
CNDP.
China and India are interfering in our democracy and are using members of parliament to do so. A Canadian is dead because India allegedly sent assassins to murder him in Surrey, BC. Yet, the Conservative leader refuses to condemn India's Modi, and the Prime Minister has failed to protect our democracy. How will this Prime Minister take this matter seriously and hold these foreign governments to account?
You are
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, since 2015, we've been the first and only government to introduce significant measures to counter foreign interference. The very creation of the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians, an initiative against which the Conservative Party campaigned and fought bitterly while they were in government, has allowed us to see a lot more and to make sure that all parliamentarians are aware of what the intelligence community is doing to keep Canadians safe. We've moved forward on election protections protocols. We move forward on more tools for our security agencies. We will continue to do everything necessary to protect Canadians.
L'honorable député de Burnaby.
The Honourable Member for Burnaby South.
And the repercussions are serious. Nous savons que la
We know that both China and India have been actively interfering in our democracy and using MPs to do so. Yet, the leader of the Conservatives is refusing to
You just
condemn
said that.
India's Modi government. And this Prime Minister has failed to protect our democracy.
You just said that.
How will this Prime Minister hold the governments of India and China accountable for their interference?
He's just going to answer you in French with the same response.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, not only are we giving new tools to our security and intelligence agencies, as well as our parliamentarians to fight foreign interference, but also we are standing up strongly against foreign interference by being there for the rule of law and international law. We are standing up against countries that are violating the principles of international law, like Russia, China, and others. We will continue to be there to ensure that we protect people who come to Canada to leave authoritarian regimes. We will